How's it going, guys? Welcome to the FM Dugout for episode 20 of the Hexagon Challenge, here with LA Galaxy in the MLS. So today sees the mark of start of our first full season in charge, and we've got our game against Monterrey, who we've drawn in the North American Champions League Quarter Final. Now potentially we are 5 games away from being able to win the North American Champions League and have completed 2 parts of the Hexagon Challenge. That would be pretty unreal considering I've only been in charge here for a few months. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the squad is good enough. But today's episode will see us take them on, and obviously I'm going to do a quick run through in terms of the players that we have signed and sold since the pre-season has kind of come and gone. So just a quick recap of last season. If I take a look at how things went last year, you can see that we finished second bottom in the Western Conference, which wasn't too bad, I suppose, given where we were at the start. Supporters Shield league table, we were third bottom, so Toronto were below Houston as well. In terms of the results last year, the ticker has those results. We didn't actually lose a game in the MLS. We drew quite a few games, but a couple of good wins against New York and Seattle, which made me feel, pretty optimistic about this season. Anyway, let's take a look at the signings. Oh, who's this boy? Who's this guy signing? So Cesc Fabregas will be signing on as a designated player this July, 8th of July 2020, so we got to make do without him for the majority of the season. Still an exceptionally good player, 32 years old. He'll be 33 by the time he joins us, but that's not too bad at all. In terms of who we've actually signed for this year, fairly even in terms of the numbers. We'll go through who we've got rid of first. So as you can see, we have released Jose Razo, who was a defensive midfielder, young player. Neil Vincent was away on loan. Julian Schuster I decided to let go, and he went to Toronto. Yeah, he's a decent player, but physical side not great, 34. So I was kind of keen to shift him on. Andrew Dykstra was a backup goalkeeper. We've let Leonardo go just because I felt we had sort of better options. Teal Bunbury we've let go. James Ayala was someone that I'd signed in from one of the drafts and let him go straight away. So when players are out of contract at the end of the calendar year in December, there's a draft that allows teams to pick up those players basically. I picked this boy up to have a look at him. He's pretty decent, but I just didn't have the space for him, so I let him go. Sold Gabby Bonlahor to Watford. He was homesick. De La Garza, a little bit disappointed at selling him. He seems like a decent player, although he is a centre back, preferably, and we were playing him on the right or the left. But he was unhappy when I rejected a bid from Suwon Blue Wings, and despite the fact I offered him a new contract, I can't remember if he signed it or not, but then Auxerre came in for 350k. I thought, right, fine, I'll let him go. Adam Phelan went out on loan to LA Galaxy 2. Rama was sold. Again, decent player, but he's a foreigner and 32 years old, so I figured I might as well let him go. Godoy has gone on loan. Now, I think he's a good player, but again, international wise, we just didn't have enough space in their squad. And then we had a bunch of free transfers here. Some I'm happy with, others I'm not. Basically, Leon Britton, his contract was due to expire at the end of the year. He's going to retire. Been offering him out. Nobody wanted him. And 37 years old, would be taking up an international player space. So I just wanted rid of him. And that's one thing where you get the waiver draft really does help out. It allows you to get rid of guys who are under contract and they can just be binned because they've not been registered. But I also lost Rodolfo Jimenez, who I'd only just signed from the LA Galaxy Academy. So he went. Likewise with Anthony Jordan, another player that I brought through that looked like he was kind of promising. I tried shifting them back as soon as I realised that the registration date was coming up, and it didn't really work out, so they all left. So in terms of who we did sign, the The first two boys here are left backs. We've got Kyle Thornton from LA Galaxy Academy. Pretty decent youngster, 17 years old. Looks as though he's got some potential. Next up was Felix Arduin, a Haitian international, and I found him by going through, as I have done in many other saves, international teams sort of in the area. So I was going through North American, South American, Central American kind of teams, international teams, and looking for players who kind of stood out as being cheap or free transfers, and this boy was there. He looks pretty decent, to be honest, for 19 years old. So I'm pretty happy with him. He's going to be our first choice left back. Left back obviously was a position that was causing us problems last year. Also brought in Mike Villasenor from Senior, probably is how you say it, from the draft. He was formerly at New York, moved down through their various teams. I think he seems like a decent player. He's going to be in his backup. That's it. James Ayala, who I signed from Portland and then let go. Tom Kearney comes in from Fulham. Now I think Tom he's probably the right sort of player I need. You know, he's not too old, he's not the other side of 30, he's not a designated player, so he's getting paid a decent salary, but it's not over the limit. So I'm pretty happy with signing him. He will be our main man in the centre midfield, at least until Fabregas comes in. Next up is Kelechi Iheanacho, I think so. The wonder kid, potentially, from Man City, who just hasn't really cut it there. He's played a few times, went out on loan to Girona in Spain, did pretty well for them, to be honest. But we managed to get him in a free transfer. He is a designated player though, so he's earning 7.75k. Actually, no, I don't think he is a designated player now. He was a designated player. What I did was I shunted him down to be a senior player, because when I was buying Fabregas, I was given the option to use allocation funds to basically pay the difference. It's confusing. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to understand it fully, but he looks like a really good player. 23 years old, 2 goals out of his 4 non-competitive matches, so we'll see how he gets on today. Then, the 2 youngsters there that went away. This boy here, wow. Again, found by going through those national teams, came across this guy on a free transfer. 21-year-old Colombian goalkeeper, played 58 times for Junior over 3 years. And when I saw him, I'm not sure if I can still see that information. Yeah, just look at the teams who are interested in him. It was Real Madrid at the time that were interested, so I'm absolutely delighted to have signed him. I think he looks like a cracking goalkeeper, and he will be our first choice keeper. He is a designated player on 22k a week, but we have got him for another sort of 3 and a bit years, or 3 seasons I guess it would be. Still trying to get used to the fact the seasons start at the beginning of the year, like February, and run through to November. It's just a bit kind of offsetting, so used to the European calendar. Then we signed Doniel Henry, formerly at West Ham. He looks like a good player. He was at Toronto actually, 2014, so he's been over here and has gone back over to England and then back here again. And I think he looks like a really solid central defender. 26 years old as well, slightly younger than some of the guys that I've let go, so just trying to bring the average age of the team down a bit. Then we had another round of drafts, and this was the super draft. Unfortunately, some of the guys I was looking at, they were strikers, and they looked pretty good, to be honest, and I wasn't able to get them because of the draft order. I think we were like the 23rd draft or something like that, draft pick. So I ended up going with Sam Atkinson, who looks like a decent sort of squad central defender, formerly at Portland Phoenix, and also Sean Ryan, who we signed on the draft, who was formerly at Ocala Stampede, and he will be back up pretty much on the right wing for Legit or Jameson. I think the other 2 kind of first choice on the right wing. And then we had a bunch of free transfers again. So De La Garza left around this point, so I started looking for right backs and brought in a bunch on trials and found this little gem. Again, going through those national teams, he was in the under 20s, 44 under 20 caps, Looks a pretty good prospect, to be honest. What was interesting was when I initially scouted him, my scouts said that he wasn't a worthwhile signing, then brought him in, looked at his stats and thought, no, I think he is a worthwhile signing. So we brought him in. Also brought in Patrick, a Brazilian right back, 23 years old. He looks like a decent player. Again, same sort of approach. Very, very good physicals, I think. Great natural fitness, stamina, pace, acceleration. So he will be a really good outlet on the right wing, and it'll be difficult to choose between those two, to be honest. Then Anthony Marshall, because we needed some extra cover in the centre midfield area, and they needed to be American, so we signed Anthony Marshall on trial, and then signed him for real. And he looks like a good player. His stats are all pretty decent, apart from maybe the teamwork aspect for central midfielder, but technique, first touch, passing, all pretty good. 15 determination. And then last but not least was Enrique Hernandez, who we had to trade some draft pick, I think in 2022 or something, with Portland, so that we could get his rights and then he could sign for us. And he was really brought in as, the last kind of resort, really up front. Obviously we've got Iniacho, Jameson, Zardes, but Jameson and Zardes play on the wings occasionally, so we didn't really have anyone else who was an out and out striker, and I think he looks pretty decent. He's a target man. He's got good heading, jumping reach is not too bad. For 18 years old, his physicals aren't too bad at all. Finishing 12, dribbling 12. Yeah, I mean, he looks good enough. We'll see how he gets on. He won't play a major part in our squad this year. So yeah, that's a quick summary of the signings and sales, and we've made 600k out of it. I have put it back to pounds, just keeps me in my comfort zone here. But yeah, so that's how things are here. In terms of the friendlies, the ticker will have shown the results. We've not done too well. Had a great game in our first match against a team who I just wanted a team that we could beat, to be honest. And then I played two MLS sides, and the games, I don't think the scoreline really matched the game there. I think a draw or a win for us would have been better. Likewise in the Chicago game, we probably should have won that as well. Colorado Springs, again, we should have won, so we're pretty wasteful in front of goal, which means that today's match is a bit more worrying, to be honest, against Monterrey. But yeah, so I'll get on into this first leg, and if we can get through this quickly enough, I'll cover the other leg off in this episode rather than doing a separate one. So we still have our subs. Where are we? Clear subs only. So need to get our goalkeeper. Where is he? Where's Arias? Can't see him. There he is. So Patrick is injured. We'll get Kyle Thornton on the bench. Probably Atenella. Central mid, Anthony Marshall's injured, so we'll go for Rob Carey. We'll get Zardes on the bench, Jameson on the bench, and probably Ed Sharp, and that'll give us enough coverage, I think. So yeah, this is the lineup I'm probably favouring this year. I think it looks fairly decent. People are fairly happy in the roles, and the ability's pretty decent. Obviously the two fullbacks are a bit lower, but they're younger, so I'm hoping they'll kind of step up. But yeah, let's see how we get on. And Gonzalez 78%. Yeah, he's okay. We'll let him play. He's a big player for us. I'm hoping we can do a bit better than we've been doing in the friendlies. I don't want to talk about that. Again, sticking with the same opposition formation approach. Right. Yeah. Get on with it. Okay, so let's bring. What's the match speed? Alright, bring it down one maybe. So yeah, I'm not expecting much from this. I think it's too soon for this squad to have kind of gelled. I think we're really missing possibly like the kind of focal point of the team, which I'm hoping Fabregas will provide for next year. Monterrey with an early chance, and they've scored. 4 minutes in, not good. Apparently they've only got 2 players playing at the moment, and we're losing 1-0. Yeah, defence is certainly one area that I'm not that keen on at the moment, and I am sort of debating about the whole Dos Santos playing behind the striker and maybe doing a defensive midfielder. As you can see, we're getting picked apart again here. Rios with the save and scrambled it away for a corner. Certainly the early signs suggesting that we are not going to win the North American Champions League this year. I'd be just happy if we can settle into a rhythm a little bit. Now, Xiao breaking forward and just giving the ball away. He had Arduin away on the left wing outside him, but he just didn't spot it. Montano with a throw to Legit. Giovanni now breaking inside. Kearney looking for Xiao, and it's lost again. And this is one of the things that's really frustrated me in our pre-season, is we keep playing these balls over the top, despite myself telling the team to play short. So yeah, I'm not sure why that's happening. Just ignoring me. So Monterrey now on the ball, certainly bossing early proceedings in the game, and they have a goal to boot. Will they get another chance here? Fierro on the ball, progressing, and we're just not getting those tackles in. Jefferson there cuts it back. Cueva, Hernandez and Rios with the simple grab, but 5 shots, 4 on target in the first 20 minutes for an away side is really pretty good for them. And Pabon with the free kick, sailing over the bar. But yeah, we are struggling. We are struggling today, and I think I will need to change tactics. I'm not going to do it right now. I think half time is probably the better moment to do that. It certainly just looks as though we're losing out in midfield. We've not really got anyone that's hungry enough to win the ball. As I say that, Rice just puts in a great challenge. Kearney now lifts it over the top to Legit. Forward to Giovanni. We're outnumbered here, so we're going to have to get some good passing going. Montano on the wing to Legit. Whips it in. Iheanacho. Oh, first shot on target after 28 minutes. Yeah, okay, so there goes that chance, and Monterrey will come forward yet again. So I think it's going to be pretty difficult as Los Angeles to maybe win the North American Champions League. Certainly the squad doesn't look strong enough here, as Dos Santos plays it to Hernandez. Rios with the save, but certainly I don't know, if we can improve in the MLS and qualify again, that's probably going to be the first goal, rather than trying to win this. Just seems as though we are out of our depth, as Monterrey come forward yet again. Cueva completely unchallenged. Fierro with the shot. Rios is saving us at the moment. A corner there, chance. Hernandez heading over the bar. Another free header. Another opportunity for Monterrey now. Jefferson to Pabon, just cutting in away from our players like they're not even there. Medeiros loses out to Rice. Now, can we hit them on the counter-attack? No, we can't. One of the things I'm noticing is Giovanni seems like a huge waste of money. 110k a week on him. I probably should have just not registered him. And I was trying to sign Nathan, a youngish 23, 24-year-old Brazilian attacking midfielder who was at Chelsea. But he's decided to go back to, I can't remember if it's Flamengo or Fluminense, one of the two. Xiao now breaking into the box. Can we pull one back? That was a really good opportunity there, and he's just put it wide. Once again, just showing the wastefulness up front. If we're going to be under the cosh for the best part of the game, we really need to take our chances when they come our way. That's Arduin now booked as well. 2 fullbacks. Henry to Montano, lifts it forward looking for Iheanacho. Legit, Rice, Giovanni. Given away again with that high ball. We're just not playing it out wide like I'm telling them to. Iheanacho tries to shoot from 25 yards and it's blocked. Kearney now losing out, delaying on the ball too much, and Monterrey just passed the ball away. I think there's makings of a good team here, but things just aren't pulling off for us at the moment, and obviously I'm going to tell them that I'm not happy with them, because I'm not. But I kind of take some of the blame myself. You can see Dos Santos at 6.4, so he's been really poor, and this is his favoured position. He has absolutely no excuse for playing that badly. So we'll bring on Rob Carey, probably in this defensive midfield role, and see whether that has any impact on the game. Looking at the two full-backs, I'm wondering whether to bring on Kyle Thornton just in case Ardoin gets sent off. Yeah, I might just leave it as stands. Obviously we've got options on the bench with Zardes, Jameson, and they can pretty much take any of those three positions between them, but we'll see how things go in the first 15 or 20 minutes of the second half. A 1-0 loss, it's not over. We've got a game against LA Galaxy 2 as a friendly in between these. Maybe we can find our rhythm there, I don't know. Certainly up front seems to be the big problem. I thought Iheanacho was going to be a really good signing for us, but maybe it's not him who's missing the shots. Just don't have that clinical edge, which is a little bit disappointing. So we looked as though we've shored things up a little bit now in the second half, but let's have a chance here and then decide what to do. And it's actually Monterey with a chance. Pabon into the box, left Ardoin for dead, and don't know why he didn't cut that across. Okay, I think it's time to make some changes. I think we'll bring off Zhao for Zardes out wide. He likes to play as a wide target man. Why not? The big question is Legit or Iheanacho. Jameson has done well up front in friendlies. Decisions. I've got a feeling Iheanacho might be able to score. We'll see how it goes here. Fullbacks struggling today. I mean, they're youngsters. They weren't intended to be kind of first team choices, I guess. But I'm kind of limited. I couldn't really sign anyone for a great deal of money. There didn't seem to be many options around, so chance there. Gonzalez blocking it for another corner. We certainly had a large number of corners, and we've had a decent number of shots at goal ourselves. 8 shots at goal, but only 1 in target. We've really let ourselves down as Monterey whip the corner in, and they'll pick it up to possibly get another chance. We're not really pushing our line out very much. Mayada now into the box, and Ardoin puts out for another corner. Corner 9 now for Monterey, and you get the feeling they're going to score another unless we can change things around. What I might actually do now is maybe go a little bit more for it and put Carey in central mid role, put him in as a ball winning midfielder just to try and it'll give us a bit more numbers there. Dos Santos now, Ardoin with a good challenge there, but I think if any team's going to score, it looks like it's going to be Monterey and not us. Maybe just go attacking, maybe just try it. As I say, I really don't think we're going to win the Champions League the first time of asking here. It will take a couple of years probably to get our team into the right shape, and we did that with Ajman. You know, I think if we'd been in the Champions League in the first season there, we definitely wouldn't have won. Yeah, it looks as though we're just going to count down. No, maybe not. Fierro with the chance, but a great last-ditch challenge there from Gonzalez, Captain Gonzalez. Montano just hoofing up the park. Really disappointed with our creativity in the last third, but maybe we can just sneak a goal in here at the last few minutes. Maybe not. Certainly that was one of the things I noticed last year in the MLS. We got a lot of draws with last minute goals, but I don't think it's going to happen today. Will it actually be Monterey with a chance? Mejia on the ball. Are they just counting down time, or if we can win it back here? They've got a lot of men forward, but we just don't seem to have anyone that really wants to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Rios whipping it forward. Zardes trying to get it onto Iheanacho, but it's not going to get there. And now Monterey will just build up again from the back. Nice passing from them. Rice cuts it out. Long ball over the top, looking for Jameson with that pace. Whips it in, looking for Iheanacho, but he's not there. Rice with the blocked shot. Montano, Jameson. So we get a corner here. with about a minute left. Rice will loft it in high. Kearney picks it up. Carey, Rice, and he's just lost out. And I think that will be all she wrote for us anyway. Unless, of course, Monterey score another goal here. It looks like they probably will. Maybe not. Okay, so a 1-0 loss at home. It's not impossible to overturn it, but certainly we need to play an awful lot better than this. Ian Atchell with a chance. Good challenge there from Herrera. And surely now with 10 seconds on the clock, that will be all there is to this game. Jameson whips it across looking for Zardes. It was a good, decent enough ball. Zardes just couldn't get in front of his man, and I think full time will sound. Yep. Well, I gotta say I'm disappointed. Yeah. Okay. I think I probably will do the second leg. Because I've got a funny feeling it'll be the last time we're in the North American Champions League this year, so I'll catch you on the flip side in a minute. Okay, so here we are for the second leg against Monterey in North American Champions League Quarter Final. So we played LA Galaxy 2 in the friendly match in between, and we won 1-0 thanks to a kind of really scrappy goal by Brad Jameson. We lost Omar Gonzalez to a red card in the first 5 minutes, so needless to say it didn't really help us, but it was the same sort of story. 15 shots at goal and about 6 of them I think on target. So yeah, I've changed things around a little bit. I've decided to go with an anchorman with Rob Carey today to give the back line a bit more protection, and hopefully the players up front will be a little bit better, have their shooting boots on today. So let's get into this. Okay, right, we got to say, right, that seems to have gone down well. Avenge for the defeat in the last round. Let's go. Yes, they're all set, right. Okay. I think what we'll probably try and do here is keep it close and see if we can nick a goal on the counter attack or get a goal later on. We've done this sort of thing plenty of times with Ashman, but obviously the level of opposition is that little bit better here. Monterey 20 minutes in with a chance here. I'm not even going to bother trying to say his name. Hits the post. Just noticed the match speed's probably a bit too high. I've moved it down to key highlights rather than extended, just to try and shorten it. I know I've been blabbing on quite a bit in this episode. So we're halfway through the first half and we really haven't done an awful lot with it, which is what I kind of want to do. Try and frustrate Monterey a little bit and then come out in the second half fighting. But yeah, I mean, it was a bonus, I suppose, being in the Champions League for this early on, but really the meat and veg of what we do will be in the MLS this year, and we'll need to see that we can improve our team and maybe get a chance of being back here next year, as Monterey try to craft a chance there. And it has been a quiet first half, certainly from us. 38% possession. I would have expected a little more playing such a defensive minded formation. Yeah, I'm not going to change it straight off here. I do believe if we stick with this until about 60 minutes or so, then that's probably the point to bring on Dos Santos, go to the more attacking formation, and really kind of go for it at that point. And then it'll just be a case of trying to score a couple or one and take it to extra time, if possible. But yeah, it's a long shot. It is a long shot, and they're playing a fairly defensive formation as well. So it's 65 minutes now. Don't want to do that. I want to go to advanced tactics. It's now time to bring off Rob Carey, and hopefully Dos Santos will play a little bit better today, because he was pretty poor last time round. Quite a lot of yellow cards as well, so just in case we get any rash challenges that come in and really screw us up. We'll go back to being normal here. And how are we playing? Any natural 6.5. Jameson's not particularly great. Let's bring on Legit and Zardes has done quite well, I suppose, up front. No, I'm going to stick with natural. Faith in my new signing and all that. And also want to go to be attacking as well. And shout at the guys to push forward. Oh no, I can't do that until I change it. Right, so I want attacking and take off retained possession so we can get the ball forward a little bit more. Let's go for whipped crosses. And now I've lost the ability to tell them what to do. It's kind of annoying that it just takes away the ability to do more than one thing at a time. Now I can say to him to push forward. We probably will lose a goal here. We have to try something. I mean, we've not got a terrible side, but it's just, you know, early doors. Really wouldn't want to be playing in like the Champions League quarter final with a team in Europe or something if you'd only just put together your team. As I say, we'll need to see how things go in the MLS. We've got 10 minutes to go. We're really going to have to try and get something. So let's go to overload and let's try pumping the ball into the box. Go route 1. Okay, we'll go with that, and then we can aggressively tell them to push forward, and we'll see if we can sneak something. 2 minutes, 1 minute. I know I moved it from extended to key, but to not have a single highlight, to not have a single shot on target in 90 minutes is pretty poor. And now Pabon to seal the fate. Rios with the save. Tell you what, if we had players as good as Rios throughout the team, we probably would have stood a better chance. We can't fault the boys. I can fault the boys. That was not good enough. That was pathetic. Yeah, so much more work required from us to try and do better next year. So Monterrey go through with New York, Pumas and Tigres. So it looks as though the MLS sides are kind of weak. I mean, this A international ruling and the salary cap thing really is quite hindering, so it's going to be a challenge. Plus you can't get the best American youth because you have to wait for your pick in the draft and take what's left. So it's, yeah, it'll be interesting. Certainly different from the Ashman journey, but hopefully we can get there in the end. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit that like button, leave me a comment. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and come back when we start taking on some MLS teams to try and get back into the North American Champions League. But until then guys, I'll see you when I see you.